guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video we was looking at this chuck box, Wanigan patrol box. It's a box but we modified it, didn't we, and we made it into a cooking station and we made this cowboy fire pit here. So we're going to be looking a bit more in detail at this. I'm going to be cooking some breakfast now because it's early in the morning and I haven't been out of bed too long. So I'm going to get this mucket on the go, get a coffee down me, and we're going to be cooking some bacon and eggs and things like that. Now, where we are today is in my Viking barn because we've had a storm last night and we've still got the back end of the storm coming through this morning. I was going to do this video in the woods, but it was just too wet and windy really for the camera. It would have been shaking around and things. So we're in here today. We'll talk more about that later on. So we made this cowboy fire pit using an old baking tray and barbecue skewers to create this hanging mechanism here. It all claps down. It all collapses down and fits in this box. The lighting's not great in here, so I do apologise for that. But it's better to be warm and dry, isn't it, than cold and miserable. What this is sat on is a Viking cooking fire hearth that I made, that I use for my Viking stuff when I'm doing Viking cooking and things. And I've just placed it on top. There's a hole in the roof, so the smoke's going out of that. So inside this box, I've got everything I need really to have a camp kitchen in the woods. I can have it on a campsite, I can have it in here. I can move it around and change it and interchange for stuff that's inside it to suit my needs. But like I say, it's got everything inside that I need. I've got spatulas, I've got my knife here. If you've not seen this box in my previous video, I'll put a link in the description so that you can see it in more detail because I do talk a little bit more about it. I've also been developing a new box for the next video that I'm going to do. That's going to be a micro kitchen. Will it be the world's smallest camping box? Who knows? But the challenge I had was to get everything into one small box and so that it was functionable, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to do a novelty box like a toy or anything. I wanted something that you could actually use. And the box you can actually get from Amazon. So keep an eye out for my next video after this one. I will be showing you a lot of stuff on that one as well. So I've got the fire raging at the moment, haven't I? Which is okay because I'm boiling water. And then when the wood burns down a little bit and it settles to the bottom of this tray, I'll put this baking tray on top and I can do some frying then. It's a bit too hot to be frying on at the moment, but I wanted to get the fire established, get this coffee boiling. Now, you're going to see this coffee pourer in action as well today, which we didn't really see properly in the last video. It's basically a mechanism so that I can pour coffee without burning my hands. It's a little bit small for this operation here, but for bigger stuff it's fine. And also I can take this mucket off the heat and I can put it on a hook, say off a branch, and use it that way. Now, I like my videos to be different every time. I like to use different things. I've got a lot of different types of equipment. I've got titanium, I've got old-fashioned stuff, I've got modern stuff. So, yeah, if you see me drinking out of old-fashioned cups and things and tin cans, it's because I fancy a change and I like doing things differently sometimes. But I do have some decent, modern-day stuff as well, which you will be seeing. Depends on the situation, really, what I do. So just let this fire die down now, haven't I? So I'm just going to start frying my breakfast up. And then we're going to be doing something else later. But I just wanted to show you where we was at with this cooking fire, yeah? So in case you don't know, this baking tray cost me £3 from a charity shop. And the barbecue skewers here that I use cost me £7. So the cooking system here has cost me £10 to build. You could probably do it cheaper if you shop around. Use a bit of modern cooking oil there, I don't care. Right, so in here I've got my breakfast. I have some eggs and I've wrapped the eggs in some tissue paper so that they don't break. I'll just put these here so they don't roll anywhere and smash. I'll just get this tissue paper out of the way. Now I've got some egg and bacon in here as well. We'll get frying this up. I meant to say sausage and bacon there, not egg and bacon. We've got 4 little sausages there. Not the healthiest of breakfasts, is it? But it's nice. Yeah, so I'm going to get this coffee pot out of the way now. it's hot. I'm going to hang it up here out of the way, and I'm going to slide underneath some sticks, because the only problem with this grill is it's difficult to feed the fire, isn't it? But we can get around that by just getting rid of this pot and make sure it's not too hot there. And I'll just hang this out of the way. And now I can feed the fire, can't I? Just like that. So on a fire like this, really, you want to be using... I'll just go around the other side, actually. Yeah, you want to be using split wood, really. Thin split wood. You don't need anything really big. It's just going to be too violent, the fire, otherwise. I mean, even that there would just be enough. But it's working quite well. It's not warping. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with this fire pit, actually. Yeah, we had a storm here last night. Storm Benjamin, I think it was called. It was quite a violent storm, actually. So we stayed in my cabin as opposed to camping out. My friend Dave, he's with me this weekend with some other friends. You're going to meet them later on. My friend Dave's not been very well, so we didn't really want to get him in the woods with having a bit of a heart condition at the moment. Until he feels a bit better, he's cabined up for the night. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for all your comments, you guys sending messages, stories and tips. It's been really useful to me, and I've really enjoyed listening to your stories. You know, Oklahoma, Alabama, Kansas, Germany, Norway, England, all around the world, comments coming in. And it's very interesting to see how you live. And, you know, I think we've got a lot in common, I think. Different backgrounds we come from, but we have a lot in common. I think we like the same things, really. We like old stuff, we like modern stuff, but we like a bit of nostalgia, I think. I better watch these sausages and they're going to burn. You've probably heard of the last video. I'm saving up at the moment to get a new camera phone. This camera phone's a little bit out of date now. The focusing can be a little off sometimes. I mean, it's done okay, but I think I'm going to get something a lot better so that the picture quality is a lot better for you. I'm going to take YouTube a little bit further now, so I think it's time to invest in some gear, you know. So in case you're wondering, this is a kind of Viking-style throne bench, and I made it from an old double bed. There was a lady that passed away, and a lot of her furniture went into skips, and I don't like things being thrown away, especially wood, because you can always burn it. You know, firewood costs money, doesn't it? But I go into skips and I pick things out and I do things up. So this was an old double bed that I've basically converted. I've done some pyrography on it here. I've got the world tree and I've got Odin's ravens there. And it's quite a nice thing to have, isn't it? That's cost me nothing, you know. And most of the things I make cost me nothing if I can help it. Not because I'm tight, it's just, I just don't see the point in wasting money. And I do like repurposing old things. And I know a lot of you guys like doing that as well. And it just makes sense to me. The beauty of these chuck boxes is, you know, they're so versatile. I was speaking to one of you guys from America who was on the road a lot, and what he did was he had one of these boxes and he would have a cooker and he would make his own coffee and cook his own food, mainly because he wanted to save money and he didn't really like gas station coffees. And that's it. And, you know, other people have written in and said, you know, they remember their grandparents having boxes like this and they were very practical for camping holidays. Okay, it's not very lightweight, is it? And it's not the most packable thing. But if you're in a car or you want to put it in a canoe, it's just ideal for that, isn't it, really? You know. Yeah, so I watch quite a few YouTube channels myself. I'm interested in quite a few. A friend of mine has a channel called Bushcraft. He does more photography these days, but now and again he dives back into that. He does Viking bushcraft, very similar to what I'm interested in. And another guy I follow called Waypoint Survival. He's an American guy, Waypoint Survival. He does stuff about hobo cooking. Very interesting stuff, you know. My wife says I'm an English version of him. And naturally so, because I think some of us have a lot in common, but we don't meet each other, we don't see each other, we live across the sea. But some people are very similar in some ways, you know. I also like another YouTube channel, and I can't remember the name of it at the moment. At the top of my head, what's the name of it now? The Woodland Retreat. And the guy is a kind of reenactment wood runner, if you like. He's like a kind of American history guy and Canadian history guy. His knowledge is phenomenal. I really enjoy his stuff. He makes birch bark canoes, things like that. So I learn all the time from other people. I like watching other people's work. You know, it's not just watching my own videos, which I do watch my own videos because I want to see if I made many mistakes on them, you know. But yeah, I think I'm getting there slowly. This is an old military chest from 1919. I think it's 1919. I lined it. 1917. It's from 1917. So it's a military chest, this, probably from World War One. It's not too out of keeping for my Viking stuff. I can hide it away a little bit in the background. But this is a real heavy chest, this. And it's not something that I'm going to be carrying around with me. But I keep some of my gear in there sometimes, on occasion. I've also made some pack baskets that are very handy for putting all your knickknacks in. You can use them for, you know, a picnic if you want. But this is made out of an old laundry basket, this one. This one as well has been made out of an old laundry basket. I've repurposed it. I put a flat top on it, so now it's a table. Yeah, so I was talking about Dave a minute ago, wasn't I? Talking about my friend Dave. And he used to have a YouTube channel. Well, he's still got it. And he didn't do it for many years. He was doing YouTube back in the days where you didn't have editing equipment and things like that. It was very difficult, you know. But what he's done is he started his YouTube channel again today, and I've been helping him, showing him how to use this editing equipment I use and stuff. And he's getting back into it. And he actually stayed last night with me and another friend called Annie, and he's made a video about lighting. Not lighting like this lighting, the old-fashioned stuff. He's actually done a video on some modern-day torches. So I'm going to put a link in the description to Dave's YouTube channel, so you can check that out and check out some of his stuff. And also, you can look at my cabin as well while you're at it. I'm not the greatest of cooks, as you can tell, but I'm quite hungry. I'm going to eat this and get a coffee, and then I might feel a little bit better, have a little bit more energy. I wonder how you like your eggs. Do you like them over easy or well done? I don't know. I'd like to know that, actually. I don't know why. I'm just nosy like that. I'm going to put this coffee back on just to get it warm again. Yeah, so I like to do a little bit of living history sometimes, you know, Viking living history. Some people have been calling it LARP, live action role play, but it's not. That's a total different thing. Live action role play is playing games and using different ages and fantasy places to have backdrops for the games. This isn't about that. This is more about learning about different cultures, the past, how things were made. If I make something, then I learn more about how it's made. I'm dyslexic, so I'm not very good at reading. You've probably noticed on my videos my spelling's wrong often, because I don't know it's spelt wrong. I'm relying on my phone to correct it sometimes, or I'm asking my wife or the kids. But my spelling's quite bad, and my maths is quite bad, but I think dyslexia is a gift because it's given me the opportunity to think out of the box. And when I have a problem, I tend to go around a different way to find a solution. And I'm sure you know what I mean. You know, you have problems in life and you kind of get around them, and going down a different road tends to take you in a better direction, or at least takes you to a better destination, say. And you learn so much more than just reading or just being told what to do. And that's just the way I look at it. So I like to write the words for songs and make up poetry and rhymes and all that. And I use AI to create the music and the voice. I choose the style of it and everything, but I write the songs pretty much, but AI does the music. Not many, well, a lot of people like it, but some people don't like it because they're saying it's taken away from the music industry, AI, and I totally agree with that. But what I'm doing isn't, because this is my work, this is my creation, and I can't afford to pay a singer to sing my songs, and it's never going to happen. So that's why I use AI, and I use it for my own creativity, if you know what I mean. But there's been a couple of comments where people don't like it, and I understand that, but it's not affecting them because it's what I'm doing, and the music I'm putting out there is from the heart. It really is from the heart. And it's meant to reach you because it's meant to make you feel good, if you know what I mean, and give you something to connect to, because there's not many songs out there that are about the nature and about these things. So that's why I do that writing. But I just wanted to clear the air with that, and good luck to anybody in the music industry. That's all I wanted to say. Right, I need to eat. Now, there was quite a lot of interest about this Mucket coffee pourer that I made, and I used old small barbecue skewers, and one of them had a hand, well, they all come with a handle on the end of them, so I've left the handle on this bit as a pourer. So I wanted to show you how it works better for my coffee now, and I've also got a bigger version of this that's in my cabin that I'm going to show you very shortly in case you want to make one of those. So I'm not burning my hands now, am I? It is a little bit quirky, it is a little bit of a novelty, but I seen these on a kind of chuck wagging Facebook page where somebody's made one. I'm not sure whether it's an idea that comes from the period of the cowboys or it's a new innovation, I'm not sure. But what I did is I've just made a lighter version of it for you here so that if you want to copy it, and it just involves a little bit of twisting of the skewers, if you like, and a bit of playing around. But it's something you can do. And like I say, I'm going to show you the bigger one very shortly. Now, where's my spoon gone? I can't find my spoon, so I'm going to have to use this fork. I think I had it out last night and I've left it out of a box. If it was in my box, it would have been a bit convenient, wouldn't it? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put all this stuff away. I'm going to let this fire go out. I'm going to put that back in my box. I'm going to put everything away. And I'm going to be using this main fire pit later on, so you can watch that and a different style of cooking. But the reason I've used it today is because I wanted to show you this cowboy cook stove in action, because we didn't get a chance on the last video, did we? I didn't show you the meth stove either, did I? But I'm sure you've seen meth stoves before, and you will be seeing one in action in my next video with a micro box. Right, I'm going to get this coffee down me and then get rid of this gear, and I'll show you how I carry this box, because some of you guys thought it might be a little bit heavy. It is on the heavy side, and it might be heavy for some people, maybe if you suffer with a bad back, maybe, but for me it's fine. My job's quite a hard one, so lifting this box is not a difficult task at all. And you know, I'm not going far with it. I might be walking a quarter of a mile at the most with it, so I can manage it, but I will be making a lightweight version for you, so stay tuned for that. So carrying this box isn't much of a problem. I haven't got everything in it because I haven't got my food in there, and I've left my mucket out for later, my frying pan. But it's pretty much got most of the stuff in there. Now, if you wanted a bigger box, you could always get an old kind of trolley, you know, like the type of trolleys that our grandparents would use to go shopping with, you know, like a bag on wheels, say. Or you could get a fishing fold-out, what's it called? Like a wheelbarrow, if you like. You just fold out and it's like a wheelbarrow. Have it in the back of your car. Drop a great big box on it and walk a mile with it if you want. And you can have a home from home that way, can't you? Right, I'm going to get this box out of the way. Must put a better catch on that. Right, so on my channel, I don't just do old-fashioned stuff, I do modern stuff as well. I do survival, I do Arctic camping, I do Viking-style camping. Lots of different approaches to bushcraft. You know, it's mainly bushcraft, but I like to come in from different angles. I like to keep life interesting. So I've got another little project idea for you here. This is something that I did for my son. If you're into canoeing or, you know, you like a bit of adventure, and you don't want to spend £1,000 on an open Canadian style canoe, say, but you want to get something cheap or something free even. So if you go on Facebook Marketplace, you might pick up a canoe, an old kayak that might have a hole in it. It might be a bit scruffy from a 1970s, say, and it might be free or it might be £25 or something like that. So what I did, I got this old kayak here and I basically painted it with narrowboat paint. It's the stuff they paint barges with, you know, narrowboats, and it's quite a tough paint and it kind of sticks to the fiberglass quite well. I fixed up the holes on it first, and what I've done is I've made what's known as what I call a stealth canoe, and it's something you can strap gear to, and it's really good for camping, you know. It's a little bit dirty. So this paint's kind of like a grip paint, you know, for walking on, so it's quite grippy there. So what I've done, I've got these kind of boat attachments, and I've fixed these attachments around the front here and got this flexible bungee elastic. So now you can strap gear underneath here if you want to. I've put a carrying handle on the front and I've made a spray deck that is not the best of spray decks, but it keeps the mice out of it when it's in storage and keeps the rain off it if you're transporting it. But I made it from some old kind of military kind of material, waterproof material. It's camouflage on one side, but I wanted to use the green side of it, if you know what I mean. But once you're in the canoe, you can fold this back, this part here, and it kind of like creates a little bit of a gutter there. So any water coming off your paddles kind of hits that and comes off and doesn't soak your legs. If you haven't got a spray deck in a kayak, you tend to get very wet. And the Inuits had a saying about kayaks: never paddle another man's kayak, because the Inuit kayaks were designed for the person, specifically for their weight and their size. And if someone else bigger got in or smaller got in, the kayak wouldn't work very well, and it was very dangerous because the Inuit couldn't swim really, because, you know, some could who were in warmer regions, but most of them couldn't swim because they never got a chance to swim because it was too cold. So at the back of the canoe here also I have some more bungee elastic for strapping equipment. You could take this further and cut a hole in the top of the fiberglass here and put in some type of container, like a barrel with a screw top lid, that you could put in there and maybe fiberglass it in or silicone it in, so you've got dry storage. There is a bit of room inside for extra kit. It's quite a stable kayak because it's quite wide, so it's quite good for my son to learn in. And you know what? If you're teaching children how to paddle canoes or kayaks and they're on some still water, and say you're stood on the bank when they're practicing, you can always tie a rope to the kayak just for a bit of safety there. Obviously use life vests and flotation devices. But what you can do, you can get sticks, floating sticks, and throw them in the water in front of the canoe or the kayak and say, right, hit that stick with the front of your canoe or kayak. And then within about 10 minutes of them playing that game, trying to hit the sticks like you're throwing in the water, they're learning all types of rowing techniques. And if you do it on a time limit, it forces them to think quickly, and it kind of flows better. And it's just, I think it's a real good way of getting people to be able to paddle quite well, because it's important to be able to steer quite quickly, especially if you're on white water, say, and you're going towards a boulder. You've got to be able to move out of the way of it, haven't you? But yeah, I just thought this was something irrelevant really to this video, but I had it lying around here, and I've just thought I'll share that with you in case you want to do something like this. So I mentioned that I had a big coffee pourer, didn't I? You might have seen this before in another video, but in case you haven't seen it, I'll show you the principle again. It's just a bigger version of the mucket pourer. But instead of using skewers, I've used bits of round steel, and I've got them hot on my forge, and I've made hooks, and I've basically made this hinge system here. So I'll just twist it this way a little bit on these hooks. So the water's not boiled yet, but I'll show you how it works. So basically I've got a chain coming off the back here. Now you could use actually a solid rod if you wanted to do this, but I've got a chain here for pulling up the back. I have a bolt going through here, and then this hook hangs obviously from your kettle irons or your tripod, and then this hook hooks onto the handle. And we've got a pouring mechanism now, which we can just pour obviously our coffee out of as and when we need it. There's no danger of burning my hands now, is there? I'll put a piece of hazel on the end of this shaft here as well, so that I don't burn my hands. But yeah, we'll be using this tonight because there's quite a few of us. We'll come in here tonight and we'll cook up some food, and we'll have a good catch up with some friends. You can have a look at some crafts other people are doing. And then tomorrow I'll put everything back to normal, and then it will go back to being a barn. Constantly moving things around, changing things around. But I do like having different places to do my, YouTubing and do my hobbies and crafts. Right, let's look a little bit more at this, because you might want to see it for the specs of it. So this is great now, isn't it? We've got a great big coffee pot there that everybody can just go to it as and when they need it, get themselves a nice hot drink out of it, and you do up to like maybe 10 people that at a push. But if you can't get hold of one of these coffee cans, don't worry, because you can make one yourself from an old paint can. I've seen a guy who's been making bush pots. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been making bush pots with old paint cans from the internet, brand new paint cans. They've had nothing inside them, and they don't have a plastic lining in or anything, so it's food safe. And he's made these little kind of bush pots out of them. But you could get an old coffee can that hasn't got a bail arm on it from Facebook Marketplace or eBay or somewhere like that, maybe an old enamel one, and you could put a bail arm on it quite easy just by bending a coat hanger and drilling 2 holes at the top underneath the lid, and you've got yourself a bail arm there, and an attachment point on the bottom for this chain part for tipping, and you're good to go. You can convert old kettles as well. I have a friend who saw this. He has a kind of steampunk type of group, which is quite cool. They do old-fashioned things, but kind of like a steampunk style. But he did one with a kettle, which was quite nice. He had a quite nice mechanism there. So you can experiment with these, and you can use a billy can if you want to do it. Or, like I said, if you can just find something old that's not had much use, maybe you've got an old coffee pot in the cupboard at home that you could use for it. So I like to share ideas. I don't like showing off or anything like that. I like to share ideas, and I like to show others what I've done, because I learn from other people as well, and it's important to keep sharing information and ideas, and we can keep coming up with new things, can't we? So this fire pit here, this fire cook station, if you like, this Viking style cook station, it's raised up high, and the reason that the fire's raised up high is when you have fires on the floor in buildings, the smoke tends to bellow around and get in your eyes. This way, the smoke's already quite high up, and the heat of the fire will push the smoke out of the hole in the roof. So it's less smoky in here. As long as you're burning dry wood, hardwoods, fruit woods are the best to burn. Try and avoid burning pallet wood because it's just too smoky and it just makes your eyes stream. But I'm burning silver birch wood at the moment and it's burning quite well because I've split it. You don't need a great big fire, but this is just something else you could make if you wanted to. You could do it in a total different style. You could do it in the style of the cowboy cooking stove, what we did before. You could do it in that style and have that raised up off the floor. Maybe in a gazebo in your garden, one of these solid gazebos, you know, with a wooden roof, say. Or better still, a tin roof because of safety. This isn't much of a problem because of the height of the roof. There's a very small chance of sparks causing a problem with that. But, you know, obviously fire safety is an issue all the time, especially in a wooden building, so you always keep an eye on that. But yeah, this is something you can do, and you can do quite easily. You can use cat litter to line your fire pit with as well. And a lot of people use cat litter because it's like clay. Not the wooden cat litter stuff, the clay stuff. You wet it and you can actually use it to kind of insulate the bottom of your tray and make your tray last longer. And it keeps the heat off this wooden structure. So this has a metal tray in here that are filled with sand and clay and stones around the outside. So there's no danger of it catching on fire or anything. If I neglected to notice a spark coming on the side of here or a log falling on it, it would be my own fault. But, you know, you've got to be responsible with these things, and I'll make sure this fire's out totally before I walk away from the building, if you know what I mean. Right, we're over 30 minutes into this video now, aren't we? And we haven't had a song yet. So I think we'll have one of my songs. This is a new song I written this week about autumn, because the colours at the moment are absolutely stunning in the woodlands around here. And the colours we see cover our eyes and inspire us, don't they? And it's just a magical time of year, autumn. And in America, of course, you call it the fall. But in the UK, we call it autumn. And in Scandinavia, I don't know what you call it. Please let me know what you call it. You might call it autumn as well. But the seasons change and we change. But this is a nice song. You listen to it very shortly. Now, should we see what everyone else is doing today and see what crafts they're doing and see what they're up to? Let's go and do that now. Right, come on. So my friend Annie here, she's actually doing a van conversion and she's making a micro camper. And she works on it when she can. When she travels around to different places, she will stop and do a little bit more work on it. It's a bit of a kind of retreat for her and somewhere where she can sleep if she's doing reenactment stuff. She does a lot of different things. She does a lot of stuff with muskets and things like that. And she's a history person as well. And she's one of the Vikings that come down here sometimes. Are you getting on, Annie?
Getting there.
She's getting there. Should we have a quick peek inside your van? Just have a quick peek and see what she's got up to with this. So she's created some storage here underneath her sleeping bed there, a little kind of raised kind of bunk bed. And she has a lot of boxes underneath there with her food in and her hiking equipment. She does a lot of fell running as well and fitness. But yeah, it's quite cosy there, Annie. You've done quite well with that.
It's getting there.
She's got some more storage at the back, I'll show you that. Yeah, so at the back here, she's arranged some shelving cupboards, some cupboards there, and she's got some washing up bowls and things like that she can just slide out. She's used Velcro to stop them going anywhere on the road. Very well organised and very well thought out, this. You know, if you're into tiny houses and you're into, you know, making things work, this is quite a good thing to do. You know, there's a lot of people living in vans like this now, especially in America. And some great ideas and a lot of happiness is coming from this as well. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with a little bit of thought, isn't it? So I build Romany Gypsy caravans as well. I've built 2 wooden Romany Gypsy caravans, mostly using just a Swiss Army knife. I've actually converted an old 1960s caravan as well. Would you like to see that? Because it's not really bushcrafty, but it's just something that you might be interested in. I'll just show you that quickly. Yeah, so this was originally cream. It was the first fiberglass caravan to be produced in the UK. This one was produced for the continental market. That's why the door's on this side of the caravan. But when you're getting in and out of it next to a road, say you're stopping for a cup of coffee. I'll quickly show you inside. I don't want to bore you with too much information, but because I want to show you some other things, I'll just quickly show you inside in case you've not seen it before. If there's a bit of interest about this caravan, I'll do a video on it. It's not very bushcrafty, but it's just something else. You know, it might just give you some ideas for some projects for yourself. But yeah, if you're interested in it, let me know and I'll do a video about it at some point. But basically, I redid it all inside and changed it slightly. It's got an old tent in here that I use, a big bell tent as well, which is on the floor in the way. So sorry about that. Yeah, I really need to tidy this caravan up, really. Right, yeah, so that's what it looks like inside, just in case you're interested in it. I'll show you something else now. It's a lot warmer in here. So this is my cabin. It's 13 foot square. I've designed it so that it interchanges into different things, and it's like tiny houses. You know, you make things work. This is an old stove. You would have seen it in the previous video. I don't want to go on too much about it because we're running out of time on this one. So this is my mate Dave here. Yeah, so Dave's also making a YouTube video today. Like I said before, we'll put the link in the description. Now, Dave's not been very well. He's had a bit of heart troubles, but he's getting better, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, all good now. Just on the old blood thinning meds and stuff like that, but we should be back in the game pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've learnt a lot of Dave over the years. Dave's been doing a lot of mountaineering when he was younger. Stuff before I knew him. And when I met Dave, we just clicked, and then we've done lots of adventures together. And then after that, you know, a few years after me and Dave doing Arctic trips and things, we adopted a child called Matthew. He's not really a child, and we didn't really adopt him. But yeah, Matthew's joined the crew now. So Matthew does a lot of crafts as well. He's into making Chinese boxes. You know, one of you guys writ in talking about Japanese boxes. In fact, Japanese box, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
not Chinese. Box, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, not that it's a problem or anything, but yeah, it's a nice Japanese box, no screws, no nails. It just kind of interlocks together. Yeah. So anyway, after Matthew joined us for a while, we picked up another stray. She wasn't really a stray. She was one of the bikers and rocker girls from the biker scene in England here. And my mate Dave met her, went on a few bike rides with her, and fell in love. They got married, and now this lovely lady here is married to Dave. But you love crafts as well, don't you, Julie?
I do. I'm more of a textiles girl.
Yeah.
That's what I like working with. That's my medium.
And is this a bag you're working on at the moment?
It is. I'm getting into my crochet. So these are just some cheap ones that I'm getting off the old AliExpress and Temu. It's like my dummy runs, and then eventually we'll be making these with our laser cutter. Real leather and all that kind of thing.
Real leather and stuff. That's a good point, actually, because I think Julie was telling me before, if I remember, because my brain's not together today, I'm quite tired. She was saying she's going to get into making a lot of bushcraft stuff as well.
Yes.
So on their YouTube channel, Dave and Julie's YouTube channel, they're going to be doing other crafts as well. So keep an eye out for that, because she's going to do a lot of stuff for ladies out there. There's not many feminine bushcraft companies, doing stuff what girls like, but Julie's going to fill that gap, blanket coats, bags and things like that.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
So anyway, we've got some viewers that are going to say hello to, and you're the grandchildren of Julie, aren't you? Now I forgot your names. What they called?
So it's a shout out for Hope and Aria.
Hope and Aria.
Yeah,
shout out to you.
Good.
Yeah, hope you're being good. Thanks for watching, guys. In case you don't know, guys, Hope and Aria are only young. I think, how old are they? 6 and
5 and 7.
5 and 7 they are, yes. And they're quite young, so I think they might be my youngest viewers. I do have a few younger viewers who are into the Scouts and things, who watch you and know about. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Right, let's move on. I had to come outside then. It's too warm to wear this shirt in there. Right, if you've not pressed subscribe, just please press that subscribe button and press the bell button as well. Even if you've already subscribed, press the bell button, because then you get notifications on your phone or your computer that'll tell you that I've got a new video out. I want you to watch the next video, what comes out after this as well, because I put a lot of work into that, and I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to find it very useful, especially if you're into lightweight stuff, you know, because a lot of you are into that. Now I'm going to play my new song now, and I'm going to keep filming so that you can see what's happening tonight, so that you're involved in it, so you can listen to that song and get involved in that. And I'm going to say goodbye now, and thank you very, very much for watching. Sorry about the camera quality in this video. My phone's at the end of its life now, and I can't afford a new one yet. I am saving up. But when I get a phone, I'm going to get a good one, and I want, you know, better quality for you. I think you deserve better quality. I think my information's good enough. My speech isn't great. I used to have speech therapy when I was younger. I have small sinuses. So sorry if you don't understand some of the words I say sometimes if I speak too quickly. I do try, but you know, you can always put subtitles on if you want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. Let's have a real nice time. Enjoy the song, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.
The colors of the trees shedding golden leaves, a tapestry of reds and greens that softly weaves, falling down to earth, tracing paths we know. They whisper tales of ages past, helping us grow. In the hush of the woodland, a damp smell in the air, bathing our lungs in life, a breath of care. Bark glistening with raindrops, a treasure trove, while the hidden fungus dreams in darkness, sheltered from above. Oh, the colors they rise, bright and bold, covering our eyes with stories untold. In autumn's embrace we find our delight in the splendid rays of sun and gentle moonlight. Darkness driven away by our fire so bright, as we drift into dream swags upon the floor at night. Who could ask for more than this peace we seek? The woods wrapped in magic as the stars slowly peak. The harmony of nature where silence speaks loud, as the leaves dance upon breezes, a soft flowing shroud. Oh, the colors they rise, bright and bold, covering our eyes with stories untold. In autumn's embrace we find our delight in the splendid rays of sun and gentle moonlight. Oh, the colors of our clothing blend with the leaves, shadows of the forest, in movement it weaves. The warmth from the food, cooking in old cans, nature provides, sharing her grand plans. But we must see the colors, the gifts of this life, understanding nature's wonders through joy and through strife. For autumn's golden gifts are vivid and bright, a reminder that life sparkles in each ray of light. So gather all these memories, let them fill your heart, for in every shedding leaf there's a chance for us. gather our strength in the dreams that we build.